Freedom of Speech by Sudha Murty. Alka and I have been friends since the time we were in school and college together. Alka was the star debater of our university. Her arguments, bold, convincing, and razor sharp, usually left her opponents floundering. She was called the Queen of Speech by her friends. Even after college and through our years of marriage and children, we continued to keep in touch. Alka married a mechanical engineer and settled down in Bombay in a beautiful flat on the Worli sea face. Her husband started his own small scale industry and they were very well off. She had a daughter who got married and went to live in the US. Alka herself went on to become the head of the sociology department in a good college. I always thought of her as having the perfect life. Once I had to go to Bombay on some work, and Alka invited me to stay with her. There I met Tulsi, her efficient maid. Tulsi was from the Maharashtra Karnataka border and spoke the same language as Alka and me. Drought and poverty had forced many families from that region to immigrate to larger cities in search of work. Most ended up as construction workers on daily wages. Yet, they never lost the hope of being able to save enough money to go back to their villages. Tulasi too had come to Bombay in search of work, but had settled down here. She had worked in Alka's house for many years and was an asset due to her hardworking nature, punctuality, and reliability. One day, during my visit, Tulasi did not come for work at her usual time. As the clock ticked away, Alka was getting more and more agitated. She had to attend and also speak at an international sociology conference. She had become so used to Tulasi that she could not do anything on her own, though I knew long back she used to be a good cook. That is what efficient maids and secretaries do to you at home and in the office. I was watching her agitation and could not help laughing. This upset her even more. She said, "It is easy for you to laugh, but you don't know how much I have helped her out in her times of need. How could she do this to me on such a busy day? She knows I have some very important work today. You do not realize the responsibility I have been given in this seminar. You take things too easy. That is why you have remained only a visiting professor." I did not get upset at Alka's remarks. After all, we had been friends for long and had always been very frank with each other. And what she had said was also the truth, which few other people could have said to me. So, instead of laughing, I offered a different solution. "Alka, why can't we go to Tulasi's house and find out what is causing the delay? There is no point in fuming and increasing your blood pressure." I knew Tulasi stayed in a slum just across the road. In a city like Bombay, where rich people stay in beautiful apartments, there are double the number staying in adjoining slums. In fact, these slums have become essential for the survival of the residents of the big apartment blocks. Reluctantly, Alka agreed with my suggestion and we walked across the road to Tulasi's house. As we approached her house, we heard the sound of voices raised in argument. Some people were quarreling very loudly. We turned a corner and were surprised to behold the sight of Tulasi berating someone. She was screaming at a man standing quietly nearby. Alka whispered to me that it was Raman, Tulasi's husband. His wife was showering the choicest of abuse at him, and he was standing with his head bent low. In her extreme agitation, Tulasi was talking in her native dialect. She was so furious I would not have been surprised if she landed a few blows on him as well. Her neighbors were going about their work but were giving sympathetic glances in her direction from time to time. Tulasi finally saw us and calmed down slightly. Tulasi, don't use such language. You can solve the problem without bad words. What is the matter? Be cool and tell me what has happened. I asked in our language. By this time, Tulasi managed to control her emotion and breaking into tears, she replied, Amma, with such difficulty I had saved some money and bought a pair of gold bangles and chain for myself. It was with my own hard earned money. And do you know what this fellow has done? He has gone and mortgaged them in order to start a pan shop. Is it fair? How can you ask me to be cool? They were my life savings. I know Alka Amma has some important work today, but I could not control my anger when he told me this in the morning. I stood and consoled her for some time. My work involves talking to many people like her who are grappling with basic day to day survival issues and have nothing to do with the glitz and glamour that many of us take for granted. In any case, being a teacher, I am quite used to giving sermons, whether they are wanted or not. As we walked back home, Alka was very quiet. I assumed she was worried, thinking of all the household work piled up for her. Affectionately, I said, Don't worry about the cooking and other work. I will help you now, and I'm sure Tulasi will be back in the evening. These people talk freely about their feelings and hence forget fast too. I bet by tonight Tulasi will have made up with her husband and may even go off to watch a movie with him. By this time, we had entered the flat and I made my way to the kitchen to wash the vessels. I am not a very good cook, but I am definitely proficient in washing up. Alka said she would make some tea for us and went to the other corner of the kitchen. To my surprise, after a while, I heard sounds of sobbing coming from her. She was trying hard to suppress them, but the tears were coming down fast. I walked up to her and laid a hand on her shoulder. The moment I touched her, Alka broke down and started crying openly. Alka, please don't be so upset. You should not be so sensitive about what happened to Tulasi. I am not worried about Tulasi. I have just realized today that my state is worse than hers. I was stunned at her words. She went on. It took a great deal of effort for us to buy this flat. You realize how expensive it is, and I gave every paisa from my salary towards the payment. This flat represents my life savings. But do you know what my husband did? One day, when he was not here, there was a registered letter for him from the bank. I opened it to find that he has mortgaged the flat, which we bought in his name for income tax reasons, to the bank. His business was not doing well and he needed extra money desperately. But he did all this without telling me anything. I was furious. If we lose this flat, where shall we go? But we lived in civilized society. So I could not shout and scream at him. I could not raise my voice and abuse him, as the neighbors would then know we were fighting. I have been keeping all this anger inside me for a long time. Tulasi is better off than me. At least she has the freedom to shout at her husband and even hit him if she is angry and then forget about it. I have to live with the hurt festering inside me forever. I did not know what to say to her. Helplessly, I stared out at the sea from her beautiful balcony. The images I had in my mind about Alka from our school days as a bold, confident orator lay ruined. She was nothing but an ordinary, meek, ineffectual woman, unable to stand up to her husband and fight for her rights. To change the subject, I asked her, "What are you going to speak about at the seminar today?" Ironically, the answer came, freedom of speech.